Hello, beautiful light warriors. Welcome to my channel, Spiritual Growth Journeys. My name is Kimberly Palm. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I have probably some of the most controversial information for you that I've ever, sorry, I have a horrible itch. Some of the most controversial information I think I've ever presented to you all. Of course, all of my stuff on Yeshua has been pretty controversial about his true story and about the Bible, being basically a big hijacked mess. That's been pretty controversial. All my stuff about the Catholic Church has been pretty controversial. But what I'm going to talk with you all about today is pretty dang controversial. It might be a trigger for some of you all. I'm going to warn you, anybody who puts negative comments on my videos, you will be deleted and blocked. I'm not going to put up with that crap because I am donating my time to make all these teaching videos. You're going to want to, by the way, have a paper and pen to take some notes because you're going to learn a lot today. Um, but the thing is that I donate my time that I could be spending watching a movie with my husband, reading a book, having a coffee with a friend, doing something else other than sitting here for free, because none of my videos are monetized, none, zero, because if I monetize them, then they scrutinize them and then they pull them down, which is what's happened in the past. People who monetize, if you don't give YouTube what they want, and they pull your videos down and shut your channel down. So I have not been able to monetize. So this is my free time that I am donating to humanity to help you all. I don't have to be doing this. I really don't. I'm not doing this for fame. I don't have anywhere near enough people who give a crap about my information to make me famous, number one. Number two, that's not why I'm on earth. I don't care about that. I don't care about fame, or money is not a focus for me. I mean, even though I need money to survive and buy food for my family and pay bills, medical bills and gas bills and all kinds of bills, my computer website bills, whatever. I need money to survive. It's not a focus. So I'm not here on YouTube for that reason. I am here because this is my part of my service to humanity projects that I do, where I'm helping people for free. I'm teaching you and I'm giving you information on ascension, on healing, on biblical stuff, whatever, history, true history, whatever. I'm giving this to you for free as my contribution, and all I'm getting out of it is a pat on the back from Yeshua and team, the angels on the other side that are hanging out with me here, that are giving me a big pat on the back for doing a good job. That's about all I get out of it. So um anyway, so if you are going to be abusive or put rude comments, because I've been getting attacked nonstop on the last several videos by crazy pants people, you will be deleted and blocked. And just know that your karma is going to come back and bite you times 1,000, times 1,000. So whatever energy you're flinging out at me, it will come back to you times 1,000. And that is the truth, because I am a divine sovereign and I did my divine sovereign decree through Stellar Fairbairn and her beloved John. And as a result, anytime anyone sends any energetic attacks or any kind of attacks my way, it immediately goes back to them with spiritual equity times 1,000. So whatever you say or do that's hateful, you're going to be really sorry. That's all I have to say. All right. So before I go into this really hardcore information, I have pages and pages of notes here. Um, Before I go into this, I just want to say, if any of you feel like you're being psychically attacked, energetically attacked, maybe you have ghosts in your house, maybe at your office, you're being attacked while you're sleeping by entities, or maybe in the dreams time, you need to take my class. Okay, there's a link to it down in the description. It's called Spiritual Protection 101, Defense Against the Dark Arts. It's only $77. I don't get all that money. I get a portion of that money because I do it through a teaching platform that provides me with turnkey everything. I just show up and teach, and then I get paid a teacher's commission for it. So I don't get the full $77. I get part of it. So that's all it costs, and it's been pre-recorded. It's like 3.5 or 4 hours or something of information. I don't know, 3 to 4 hours, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly. But it's a lot of information and tools, not only to teach you how to protect yourself from everything, whether it's even the government, sending directed energy weapons at you, teaching you how to protect from that, and also your family, your friends, your neighbors, everybody, okay, even the earth. So please take that class, okay? It's not a class that I'd ever wanted to teach or thought I was going to teach. I was instructed to do that by Yeshua. He had said, I want you to teach this class. I was considering teaching a class like that sometime in the fall, and then several months ago, or like 3 months ago or whatever, he was like, no, you need to teach it like now. Like by August, I needed to have enough time to like create the class. So we did it at the beginning of August. That was the soonest I could get it out. If I could have gotten it out sooner than that, I would have, but I needed a month to put it all together and create PowerPoint and just all kinds of stuff. So anyways, it's a really important class. Please sign up for it. It's really going to help change your life. And honestly, I should be charging $5,000 for it because the information is priceless, but it's only $77. That's it. So again, the link is in the comments. And if you ever have an issue with trying to find my classes, they're always up on my website, which is spiritualgrowthjourneys.com. spiritualgrowthjourneys.com. There's no spaces in there. It's all one word, Spiritual Growth Journeys. You can find all my classes there. You can also find my classes at Learn It Live, LearnitLive, learnitlive.com, and then / Kimberly Palm, all one word. All of my classes that's my teacher's platform where all my classes go. I put them on there because I don't have the bandwidth and ability and the techie knowledge to be able to go through with charging people and sending them follow-ups and putting the recording on a platform somewhere that I have to pay a ton of money to maintain, because you have to, if you have video classes on your own platform, you got to pay hundreds of dollars to keep that stuff going. And I don't have the ability to do any of that. So I keep it on the Learn It Live. Sorry, I'm going to take my coat off really quick here because now I'm getting hot. I came down here and it was cold, and now I'm getting hot. So I'm in the basement and it's cold, or usually, but then it gets hot. All right. So sign up for that class if you feel like you need to learn more protection, or you feel like you're being attacked, or your family is being attacked, or if any of your family members have demonic entities attached to them, like if your husband, your wife, your kids, whoever you're living with, your roommate, you think they have entities attached to them, you're going to want to take this class. It's really going to help you. So, all right, without further ado, I'm going to point out, first of all, this is information from Yeshua. And if you really, really want to learn from him, if you want to be his direct student and you literally want to learn from him, you need to go to my soul sister, Medium Mikala, Christ Phoenix Rising Academy channel on YouTube. And I have her link down below in the description too. She's got hundreds of videos that are all teachings from Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, Archangel Michael, and I think Archangel Raphael, I'm not sure. But most of them are from Yeshua. So if you want his direct teachings, he kind of uses her as his conduit to get the information across, and it's all 100% loving. You will never hear any fear, and that is actually a good indicator that somebody's speaking truth, is when there's zero fear, not 99 truths and then one lie. If there's one lie in there at all, it's no bueno, because that's what Satan does. Satan will give you 99 feel-good things and then one really bad thing. And the one really bad thing, the lie, will take you down, like take your ass down big time. So, but anyways, if you want to learn directly from him, please go to her channel. Also, my soul sister, Katrina Whitney at Red Mountain Shaman channel. Her information is also really good. Her and I are pretty much on the same sheet of paper. Sometimes we explain things different or we perceive them slightly different, but we are pretty much always on the same sheet of paper. Once in a blue moon, she'll have a different answer than I do because we're human and we see everything through our own perceptive veil or whatever. But it's not that the information's bad or harmful to you. It's just that our interpretation of it might be a little bit different. So, but her information is awesome. She is a shaman, and a lot of her info is kind of through the lens of more shamanic kind of stuff, whereas mine is more esoteric, Gnostic Christian standpoint. Mine, everything I do kind of comes from more of a Gnostic, esoteric Christian, Essene, Cathar kind of standpoint. Hers is more shamanic, more nature and the four directions, and more Native American shamanism kind of a perspective. So you might want to go check out her channel. I really recommend it. And I'm trying to think who else. Of course, check out my soul sister Stellar Fairbairn, all of her information, especially all of her music and her songs. Her music is incredible. She does everything in 432 hertz, which is super healing, like the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic, 432 hertz. And she has an incredible, beautiful voice that's very healing. So check out all her info. So those are my sisters. And so here I go. I'm going to, this is kind of overwhelming information for me, because this blew my mind. And I'm going to be really honest here with you all and tell you that I'm going to kind of eat crow a little here, because there's things I've said in the past that I shouldn't have. And the reason I said them is because I was being protected, because it was too dangerous for me to know the truth. And because then I turn around and yak because I have a big mouth and I tell everybody, and it was too dangerous for me to know. So when Yeshua gave me all this information yesterday and today, I basically said, why have you not told me this like earlier? Why did you not tell me this before? And he said, quote unquote, it was too risky to share this in the past because the dark controllers were kind of monitoring everything. And he said they're not monitoring, they're not able to do that anymore because he said the big ones are gone now. They're all gone. And so he said it's safer for me to share this information now. So I'm sharing with you info that I've been kept from and I've not been able to know until now because they didn't want me. There's a lot of stuff they keep from me. Sometimes they keep it from me because I'm not emotionally at a point where I can do it, or maybe haven't spiritually grown up enough that I'm ready to receive it. Sometimes because I'm a human, I'm learning too. I might be a teacher, but I'm also a student every day of my life. I'm always learning and growing and getting better. I'm not any better, more important, or higher up than any of you. We're all on the same level. We're just, you know, learning at different, you know, um, different amounts, or going, how do you want to say, speeds? We are learning at different speeds. So just because I'm learning maybe faster or slower than you are, or whatever, doesn't make me any better or more important, or you better or more important than me, vice versa. So, but the thing is they keep a lot of stuff from me sometimes because I have a big mouth and I'll tell everyone, and then it'll get me in trouble and you guys in trouble, the whole planet in trouble, because then the dark ones. So like several of you, for example, have asked me what's the date of the event, what some people call the Great Solar Flash or the purification event. Well, it kind of already started a while ago and it's been a really slow thing, but there is going to be one big whammo event that's coming. There's a one big, whack-a-mole event where the whole earth gets whacked upside the head, and that is coming very, very soon. I've been promised by the end of this year. I cannot tell you exact days for a lot of reasons. Number one, they won't even tell me literally the exact day. They will tell me kind of a proximity of time, but even that I'm not allowed to share because there are still the AI gods and there are still some bad aliens and stuff that are still kind of monitoring all this. So I can't give out that because we know that they can mess with the time space continuum, and we don't want them doing that, messing with us. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm not told so that that won't get out and it won't get messed with, because it's kind of like they said in the Bible, there's a saying in the Bible, I think in Revelations, he comes like a thief in the night. You're not supposed to know the hour of your demise or any of that. Like, you're not supposed to know, oh, I'm going to die at this time on this day, whatever. You're not supposed to know that. There's a lot of things you're not supposed to know. So I'm going to give you all this info. You may want a paper and pen to write some of this down because it's pretty crazy. And I am going to eat crow a little here because I've been kind of shaming the flat earthers for a while. And so here's the truth. Here's the truth. No, the earth is not flat. It's still a big round ball. However, it's not flat to us in third density. And I've said this before, I'm just expanding on it a little. The shape of the earth depends on what dimension you're in. So if you're looking at it from first and second dimension, it is totally flat. Well, actually, it's totally flat in first dimension. Second dimension, it has a little more depth to it. And third dimension, it's a round ball. Everything is a round ball in third dimension. Now, in fourth and fifth dimension, then you're looking at a toroidal shape. It's kind of like a donut. And then there it gets even more and more complex in the higher dimensions. The higher the dimensions you go, the more crazy the shape goes. And at some point, it gets to a point where it's not even a shape anymore. It's just a big blob of energy. So it just depends on where you are standing at that time. So if you're looking at it from our third density fear-based consciousness and third dimension Earth, in the third dimension, it looks like a round ball. Okay. However, the one thing that the flat earthers got right, so I've seen a lot of these maps where they have shown a map of this like world where, or they are trying to show you that like we're under a dome and it's like this flat thing, and then there's all the other, like the Pleiadians and all these other guys are all out there around us, and it's all on like a big flat thing, and there's no space according to them. That's wrong. There is space. Outer space are our stars, or our universes, or our solar systems, or our planets out there. There are quasars and meteors, and all these things exist. It's all real. But what is similar to what they show is they will show like this dome that's us. It's like a dome, and then it's flat underneath, and then all the other solar systems are kind of on like a flat playing field with us, is what they show. That is incorrect, except for the one part, and that is the dome kind of on a flat area, except it's not on a flat area. It is on a big globe. So please close your eyes and picture this in your mind, because this is the best way for me to describe it in more, because I'm a right brain visual person. So imagine you have a big globe in front of you, and what we think of as the earth, so Australia, New Zealand, Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, all the continents that comprise what our Antarctica and North Pole and all that, whatever we think of as the Earth. Imagine that that's all on one spot on your globe that is maybe the spot that is known as Australia. So imagine Australia is not really Australia. Australia has a big ice wall around it, and it has a dome up over the top of that. And inside of that are all the continents that we think are Earth. So that would be kind of like a flat Earth in a way, if you think about it, because it's just one kind of flat section of, it's slightly curved. It's like a very slightly curved section of the whole bigger round ball. That is the truth of what we're living in. So I didn't really understand when my mom and dad popped in, because they've been dead for a while, and they came in to talk to me, and I asked them if they had, what was surprising when they passed over. I asked them a lot of personal questions, and I said, when you guys crossed over, what was the first thing you learned of that was the most surprising to you, or what did you learn that you didn't know when you were alive that really blew your mind? And they said that the Earth was 5 times larger than what they tell us, what the controllers tell us. And I didn't really understand that until now, until Yeshua gave me all these pages of notes, and now it really makes sense to me. So the ice wall. So the ice wall is basically all the way around what we think is Earth, and it's all the continents that we know of. Everything we know of is in there. North Pole, South Pole, all this. It's all part of the same. It's just the ice wall. And then all of the continents that we're in are inside of that. And then inside the ice wall, or on the other side of the ice wall, is also a dome, like what they call the firmament. They call it the firmament, but it's basically like a glass dome almost, or like a dome that's also causing the sky to be kind of filtered. It filters the sky. So you're not seeing everything of what the real sky looks like. Because this dome that is over the section that we think of as the Earth is basically creating a filter. So the sky doesn't look the same as it does to all the other people on the Earth. So imagine you have a globe in front of you. We fit into Australia. What's on the other side of the ice wall? Well, first of all, let's tell you that we are an experiment. So humanity is basically a big experiment created by the Anunnaki. And the Anunnaki and the Draco reptilians kind of teamed up. They put up the ice wall and the dome to do an experiment and to keep us trapped, soul trapped in a false matrix. The false matrix is not the entire Earth. The recycling thing was not the entire Earth. It was only this section that's the experiment that's under the dome. It's like one section of the Earth that's under a dome. And it's a big ass experiment, okay? False matrix, whatever you want to call it. But it's got the ice wall first, and then it's got a dome. And that's why the airplanes can't fly past there, because people who, since the beginning of flight, people have known that they can't, there's nowhere to go. Once you get to a certain end, you crash into the dome, basically. So there's nowhere to go. Okay. Which could explain why a lot of planes have kind of disappeared. Maybe they've crashed and then they've fallen into the ocean or something, or into the ice, into the ice area. So basically, so this might not be in any specific order because I just asked him a lot of questions and just wrote out notes. So please excuse me if this is out of order. Also, I write it down exactly how he says it. His language is a little different from how I talk because he talks more old fashioned, like 2000 years ago. So please excuse the way it's presented. So he said there are 15 continents on the other side of the ice wall. So on the other side of the ice wall, there's 15 continents. 7 of those are occupied by humans. 7 of those continents are occupied by humans. We are in a soul trap. The beings outside of the ice wall have never been trapped. They knew that we were trapped, but they didn't help us because they were kind of in on it. A lot of them actually are slaves. Most of them are slaves. Actually, he said 70% of the beings on the other side of the ice wall are actually slaves. They're humans that have been kidnapped from this section that we call Earth, our section. Children, women, babies, humans in general that have gone missing. They've been taken over there to be slaves. Some of them are sent out in space. Some of them are sent, under the ground, under the earth in the tunnels. But a lot of them are sent to the other side of the ice wall because there's 7 continents where there are cities, and those humans are kept as slave for the other 30% who are a mixture of Draco reptilians, Anunnaki, and a bunch of other. I'm going to go over the list of who lives on the other side of the ice wall in a minute. But they're basically slaves. Also food. The other reason that we were trapped in this thing is we're kind of like not just an ant farm, but we're also a cattle ranch for the reptilians. So we have been providing the food base for the reptilians for thousands of years. They eat us. They especially like us to eat us when we're still alive, and we've been tortured because then we make more adrenochrome in our blood, and then it allows them to shapeshift longer. And this is all trigger stuff, so trigger warning. But basically, humans are a giant farm for the Anunnaki and the Draco, and the Draco reptilians chomp on us. They eat us, and they love our blood after it's been filled with fear and adrenaline and cortisol, stress hormone, and all that kind of stuff. They just love it. So, let's see. So we're under basically this dome that is called the firmament. Spaceships have always entered through wormholes, portals, and stargates. They cannot go through the dome at all. So when they did all of those space flights and all of those satellite launches and everything, they're all fake. Okay. In order for them to get the stuff up and the satellites up and all the stuff that they have, they might have satellites up, but those satellites are underneath the dome. They're inside the dome. They're not outside the dome. So they might have launched satellites, but they're inside the dome, if that makes sense. They're not out in space above the dome. Okay, because in order for them to get them out into space above the dome, they have to go through a wormhole, a portal, or a stargate. That's the only way they can do that. Okay. So that's what they do. Some come from, let's see, some of the UFOs that we've been seeing here in what we consider our Earth area here, these continents that we live in that we call Earth, some of the spaceships we've seen for thousands of years have actually come from the Earth itself, because the beings that live on the other side of the ice wall have all kinds of starships. Okay. They have all kinds of hovercraft and starships. They don't need cars over there because everything they have flies. It looks just like Star Wars. All right. So there's that. I'm going to change directions for a minute, just for 1 minute. I've had a lot of you ask what about the second sun up in the sky and the real sun. And people say, is that the real sun? And people say they missed the yellow one and they want that back, not this big white bright thing. Actually, the big white bright thing is the real sun. And the reason it's white is because it's ascending and it's ramping up for this ascension event. And it has to do with the plasma energy. And that's why it's white. And it is the real sun. And it's heating up hotter and hotter to help us with the ascension. And the second sun that people have photographed and seen isn't a second sun. The second sun is, let me make sure, I just want to make sure I was still recording. The second sun is actually, this is from Yeshua. He said it is a space station known as Ezekiel's wheel. It's not a ship. It's an actual floating space station, or like a floating city out there. It's like a whole city or whole state, really. I mean, it's huge. And he said it glows bright like the sun. So people might mistake it for a sun because it kind of glows and it's kind of stationed near the sun. And the sun kind of reflects off of it because it's a big metal object. So the sun kind of reflects off of it too. So it makes it have a glow and makes it look like a second sun, but it's not a second sun. So hopefully you guys understand that. Okay. So let's go back to who lives outside of the ice wall. The elementals live outside the ice wall. There's lots of elementals out there. There's fairies, there's unicorns, there's leprechauns, there's all kinds of creatures that live out there, away from humanity, because humans are too violent and nasty to them and they like to kill elementals. So they've had to go somewhere safe. So they live over there. There are some humans, like I said, 70% of the population over there is enslaved humans. Not, and then of course there's some bad humans over there as well, but it's mostly and those will be your elites and stuff that can go over there. They freely come and go from there whenever they want. Like the 13 bloodline families, yeah, they totally know about all this and they come and go from there all the time. There are giants there, lots of giants. Those are not the Nephilim, though. The Nephilim are also known as the Titans from Greek mythology, and they're giants that are not just like 8, 9, and 10 feet tall, because there are like 8, 9, 10 foot tall giants, maybe even 20 foot tall giants, and those are the good giants. There are bad, evil giants that are like 2,000 feet tall. I mean, they're just huge. They're like 1,000 feet tall. They're like the size of a mountain. And those are the Nephilim, and they hate humanity, and they tried to kill all the humans at one time. And so they were turned into stone. And a lot of them are now the mountains that you see. And a lot of places are the actual Nephilim that have been turned into stone and rock. So, these are the other kind of giants. These are giants that are like 8, 9, 10. And the reason that they're living over there is because humans were nasty to them. Humans tried to hunt them and kill them all off. So I wouldn't want to be around humans if they were trying to kill me and hunt me and all that as well. There are dragons over there on the other side of the wall. There are Pleiadians living over there. There's other star beings living over there. Um, a lot of people, a lot of beings live over there, but there's a total of 70 million like human-like kind of beings that are over there, humanoid type mixture of aliens and then humans. There's 70 million total. Also, the dinosaurs were an experiment gone wrong that was done by the Draco reptilians and the Anunnaki. It was one of their experiments here in the Earth Dome, and that's why they all got wiped out, because it just they realized that they couldn't coexist with the humans that they wanted to use as food. So they had to get rid of the dinosaurs because they weren't able to coexist with us. But it was basically another experiment gone wrong. Um, let's see. The whole experiment was a combination of the Anunnaki working with the Draco together outside um, that are here. Let's see. Airplanes. Oh, I think I already said that airplanes cannot fly around the world because of the dome. This whole thing of an airplane being able to fly around the world. They can fly all the way from one end of the world to the other end and back again, but they cannot fly all the way around. It's part of why what's her name's plane got taken out. What was her name? Amelia Earhart. I think this is what I think. This is my theory, is that she tried to fly around the world and figured out that that's not a thing. And she was going to blab that there's this wall, there's this dome. I think she was going to blab about the dome, and I think they took her out. So that's just an opinion. I'm not going to say it's up to you, this is all entertainment purposes only, by the way. Everything I'm saying is entertainment purposes only. I don't know if it's factual or not. It's up to you to decide. Okay. Um, let's see. Third density humans, including our souls, were all trapped in the dome. Okay. So 3D humans have been trapped here along with our souls. They took down the soul trap. That's not up there anymore, but they still have the false matrix, what they call the firmament. It's still there. Okay, that firmament is still there. You can't take that down until the purification happens. When the purification happens, Yeshua told me the dome will go. The ice wall will also disappear when the purification happens, because the whole earth is going to get reverted back to how it was before. So the ice wall will be gone. The dome will be gone. The soul trap was taken out in 2020. I want to say like the beginning of 2020, excuse me, something like that. The astral body or spirit body of higher dimensional consciousness beings has always been able to come and go freely through that dome. They were never trapped. So people like me, I come and go every night. I always have. I've been coming and going for millions of years out of this little bubble trap. Because my higher self that I'm part of, I'm a fractal of that higher self. I'm not a completely embodied soul, is 12 density angelic, Elohim. So um, I've always been free to come and go out into space and do the work that I do every night. But the 3D humans, which I've done readings about that with people before, the humans that have only been on Earth and only been in the dome, so they were born in the dome, they die in the dome, they just kept getting recycled over and over again. Those are what we call the young new souls. They're very new souls. They've only been in existence for so many thousands of years, maybe like 7,000 or 9,000 years or something like that. They haven't been around longer. The star seeds who came to Earth to save this planet, we are from higher dimensions. So every one of you that are watching this video, you guys have been free to come and go. None of you that are watching this right now are a human soul. You wouldn't even be watching my channel if you were, because the human souls are still all completely asleep. So the ones that are not the star seeds, there's a few of them that are asleep, but the majority of star seeds are awake right now. So those people can come and go. The star seeds can come and go because we're from a higher, because the firmament only goes to third density level. So anybody who's from a higher density than third could easily come and go. So that's why. And that's also why the dark ones have had to use the underground tunnel system and they use wormholes. How they've gotten to the back and forth between here and out of the dome is they use tunnels, they use stargates, they use portals, and they use wormholes. That's how they get in and out of the dome, the bad guys. Okay. The rest of humanity has been stuck in the dome for several thousand years. So the astral, let's see, what else am I missing? Yeah, so the false matrix holograph only exists within the dome. I'm just making sure I cover everything that I asked him. There are 14 or 15 other, something like that, 14 or 15 other continents outside of the ice wall. 7 of those are lived in. The people who live over there do not like us. They do not like us at all because we are because humans are fear-based and violent. Okay. And we destroyed Atlantis and Lemuria and all that, and they just don't like us. Okay. None of them like us. They think humans are just bad news. All right. And that's part of why they haven't ever wanted to help us, because they just think that we have a propensity to be evil and harm our fellow man. So they don't want to have anything to do with us. Humans over time became more and more violent. So originally, the humans that were here were not like that. Like before Atlantis fell, humans were all 5D and they got along together and everything was great. This was all 26, I'm talking going back 26,000 years ago. Okay. When Atlantis and all that fell. Up until then, humans were pretty good. But then after that time period, the humans that were here on Earth just over the thousands of years got more and more and more violent. Okay. So that is part of why they locked us down. And he said they basically locked you down and threw away the key, as you would say in your 3D duality language. That's what he said. This was his words. He said humans over time became more and more violent. So they locked humans down and threw away the key, as you would say in your 3D duality language. That's what he said. The ice wall and dome will be completely gone after the purification event, and you all will get to see all of the continents that are on the other side. You'll be able to travel there, go there, hang out there. You will get to see whatever beings are left on the earth from that area after the event, because a lot of them will be gone, but some of them will still be here. You'll get to meet up with those people. You're also going to see what the sky really looks like, because the sky that you see right now is not the same sky they have over there. So how is their sky? Well, their sky is a royal blue color during the day. It's a beautiful royal blue color. with the sun shining. And then at night, it's much more higher definition than what we see. You can see a lot more of the quasars and the star systems, and you can see them like they're almost right on top of us. You can see everything clear as a bell. Okay, you wouldn't even need a telescope. You can see it like it's just right there, like in your face. Okay, so we're kind of being blocked from seeing everything, if that makes sense to you all. It's really hard for me to articulate all this because they show it to me in pictures a lot of times. And it's hard to articulate, but basically it's being diffused, so you can't really see what's really up there. Um, During the purification event, 50% of the beings that live on the other side of the wall will be leaving here. So 50% of them are not good. Okay, so they will be leaving. Not all are good. Some are bad. Some are good. There are some good ones that were there that weren't able to help us because the dark controllers would not allow them to. Because I asked about that. I'm like, why didn't they come and rescue us? And he said, because they couldn't. The weather in the other 14 or 15 continents is subtropical. It is subtropical. So I asked him, what do you mean by subtropical? Tropical? And he said, Hawaii. So think about 14 other continents that basically look like Hawaii. So they look like a garden. He said it's basically Eden. So remember, I've talked to you about how the whole planet Earth was the Garden of Eden. It wasn't one location on Earth, it was the whole planet. Our section under the dome got destroyed by humanity's doing all kinds of bad shit over thousands of years of time, as well as the Anunnaki and the Draco just destroying the area under the dome. The area outside of the dome looks like what Earth looked like when it was the Garden of Eden. So all the continents are subtropical. They're lush, they're green, they're forested with waterfalls and mountains and beautiful trees and flowers everywhere and fields and grass. And I mean, it's gorgeous. So it's not like deserts and all that. The deserts were all created by a lot of nuclear crap that was done, and then also pole shifts and other things that happen. Um, See, I already told you about the sky. It was a royal blue during the day, and at night it was much more detailed. Oh, and he said this was his words. He said, and seriously beautiful. He said the sky at night on the other side of the dome is seriously beautiful. The cities outside of the dome are much more environmentally friendly. So they showed me a picture of it. They showed me a visual, and it looks like what I envisioned for New Earth when the area under the dome. When we're free from all of this, our cities are going to look the same as they look on the other side. They're going to be more green, more ergonomic or environmentally friendly. Okay. I asked if the evil rulers of this area that we call Earth, that is inside the dome, if they have access to all the other continents that are outside of the dome. Or I said, I'm sorry, what I said is if they have access to that, because he had said they did have access to it and that they came and go, through tunnels and wormholes and whatever. I said, if they have access to all that, then why are they so desperate to wipe us all out and kill us all if there's this big planet that's 5 times the size, that's so beautiful, and they want to kill 95% of humans? And he said, this was his words, he said, because they think humans are a scourge on the earth. Keep in mind, these are all reptilians and Anunnaki that rule us, right? They think that they can turn humans into, this is what he said, they think they can turn whatever humans are left over after they kill everybody into robotic slaves. They want to turn everyone into that and then kill. It's kind of in tandem. They want to kill us and turn us into robotic slaves. Sorry, my nose is just so itchy right now. I think it's from all the smoke. So where I live, we have smoke all the way down to the ground around our house everywhere because there are fires burning to the north of us and fires burning to the east of us. And we're getting all the smoke at my house. And so my nose and sinuses have been going nuts for the last several days. Okay. I think I said this before, 70 million human like beings. That's not including the elementals. So elementals, there's probably millions of those. But the human like beings, there's 70 million of them that live outside the ice wall. And again, seven of the continents are actually inhabited by people. Excuse me. Um, I asked, how come they've never come to help us? How come they've never come to help us? And he said the dark rulers would not allow anyone on the other side of the wall to help us. They would not allow anyone on the other side of the wall to help us. Um, let's see, what else does he want us to know? Um, okay. Oh, and so the slaves, 70% of them are slaves, and they were people who have been kidnapped over time from our area and also their descendants as well, which were also enslaved. So it's kind of like it was in ancient Rome, where you have slaves giving birth to more slaves, giving everybody was enslaved, right? Um, let's see. Trying to think what else. Oh, the weather. So the weather is basically, like I said, it's like rainforest kind of thing, or like basically it's tropical, it's subtropical. So what does that mean? If you go to places like Hawaii or like St. Thomas in the Caribbean, you'll have a little bit of light rain. I mean, those places are really green. A lot of these places, they don't look like a desert, they look green. Especially like in Polynesia, like the Philippines and the Solomon Islands and the Hawaiian Islands and all the different Pacific islands, Fiji and all those islands. They're all lush green tropical. That's how it looks all over this planet. And that's because what it'll do is it'll rain for a couple of hours every single afternoon. And it's not like where we live in our atmosphere with the weather, so I asked, and this is the one thing I forgot to write down. I didn't write it in my notes, but I'm just remembering that I asked this question. I said, if the weather is like the perfect weather where it's basically subtropical, so it's probably 75 degrees or something, 80, 75 degrees or 70 degrees or something like that, and it rains maybe a couple hours every day, which keeps everything green. I said, if they have the perfect kind of weather that everybody would love, why is it on this side, inside the dome, that we have hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and you get torrential downpours, or you get droughts? You have like entire areas like Africa or wherever where there's droughts, or even in the US, sometimes there's droughts and all the crops fail. He said that that was all created by the dark controllers. All that weather, all that crazy weather, that was not created by God. None of that was made by God. The weather that the God, the not God made, but the creator gods that made this planet Earth, the Elohim creator gods that made this Earth, when they made it into Garden Eden. It was all subtropical and it had perfect weather. What does perfect weather mean? It means it's like 74 degrees, during the day, and then maybe it rains a couple of hours a day to keep everything nice and green. It's like watering a plant, right? You water your plant once a day, just a little bit. That's how the earth was. The whole earth was like that. And so under the dome, it's not like that because they have controlled and manipulated all the weather to control and manipulate us, because it causes strife, suffering, death, destruction. Every bad thing you can think of that's satanic is created under the dome. And Satan and Lucifer are the rulers of this area under the dome. I mean, they've been the rulers of the under the dome area. So I think that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I forgot. I'm going to go back through my notes again to make sure I didn't forget anything. Um, but it's really cool that we're going to get to see all that. You all are going to get to travel there in the future and see all that. So in your lifetime, by the way, in our lifetime, this isn't 100 years from now or 200 years from now or 300 years. It's now in our lifetime. I signed up to experience this. All right. So I asked him if he had a message he wanted to share with all of you, other than just answering my questions, because these were just him answering all my questions. His message for you is to please focus on all the positive in your life because good things are coming. He wanted me to remind you that the event is close at hand. It's any day now, literally. Any day you could wake up on new earth. And of course, it's the same earth. It's just going to be a healed earth. But basically, yeah, any day now. Between now and the end of the year, they promised me it will happen by December 31st. So if it doesn't, I probably will never make another video again. I've already told them, I've kind of like banged my fist in the sand and said, damn it, if you guys don't make this event happen by the end of December, I quit and I will not do any more of these spiritual videos ever again. I'm not kidding. I will not do them because I'm not going to put up with getting strung along over and over and over again to have the rug taken out on me. It's been going on for a long time. So I said, it better happen or else. So, yeah. Anyway, so there, I said it. I quit if the event doesn't happen by the end of the year. You'll still see me on social media, but I will be doing an art business instead, which is my passion is artsy stuff. I'm a right brain artsy person, and I will be doing art and music and that kind of stuff. That's what I will be doing. I won't be doing spiritual teaching anymore. I told them I quit as spiritual teacher if they don't bring on this event by the end of the year. So that's my ultimatum to the other side. I'll go and have a fun career doing art and music and stuff like that. So, all right. So that's all I have for you all this time around. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with people who are awake. Do not share my videos with people asleep. And just to remind you all again, anybody who's still asleep as of today, they're not waking up until they have a near-death experience. So unless they have a near-death experience, they will not wake up. So you need to focus on not trying to wake people up because it's a waste of your time at this point. Anybody who you haven't woken up already, they're just not coming with us until the event happens. So, or something major like, nuclear stuff or whatever, they're just not going to come out of it. So, don't even bother, but don't share these with them. Share it with awake people. And please subscribe to my channel because that also helps me as well for more people to see the channel. It gets promoted on YouTube more when I have more subscribers and more likes. And also when you're engaging with me in the comments, you're making comments, I always try to either like your comment or, put a heart on it, or sometimes I'll answer it. When you have questions, I go out of my way to answer everybody's questions. Every now and then I don't have the time to answer all your questions. So if you don't get your question answered, there's one of two reasons for that. Either I just didn't have the time, or the other one is I don't know how to answer it. If I don't know what to say or how to answer it, I wouldn't answer it. And then there's also occasions where you guys ask a question and I know the answer and I want to answer it, but it takes me a few days to get around to answering it. So if you put a question up and I haven't answered it immediately, 5 seconds later, keep in mind that I do everything all by myself. I don't have somebody like doing my social media stuff for me. So sometimes it could take me 2 or 3 days to get around to answering your question. So don't get bent out of shape if I don't answer your question 5 minutes later. Because I have a life, I'm busy. I have a family I'm taking care of, 2 people who've had major surgery that I'm, trying to help and take care of in my house here. So I just can't answer all your questions immediately and just like that. Okay. I'm not a robot. I'm not a machine. I'm a human girl. So, I should also point out that I was born a girl and I identify as a girl. So there. Anyways. All right. What else do I want to? I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I want to share for now, other than please take care of yourselves and please prioritize creator first, God, spirit, great spirit, whatever you want to call it. Then take care of your temple of the Holy Spirit, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your family. Third is going to be your family. So it's going to be your relationship with the creator or spirit or your higher self comes first. Your relationship with your own temple of the Holy Spirit, keeping it healthy, eating good, taking care of yourself. Number three, your family. And then after that, however else you want to do it. But that's the three top priorities. So keep focused on that. And as Yeshua said, keep focusing on the positive and good things, or positive stuff, because good things are coming. So just know that good things are coming. It's not going to get worse. All the big guys at the top have been taken out, which is why I'm free to do this video. It made me so happy because they've been keeping this information for me. I was really shocked to find all this information out. They've been keeping it for me because they said it wasn't safe for me to have this and give it to you. So there's been enough of the bad guys removed that I'm now able to share this. So yay! Anyways, all right. Love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.